Welcome everyone to the DudeMan show, where we talk about topics like the digression session, except we actually edited the show because there's only 3 people on at each given time.
You're the other dude.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, Mike.
I know who I am. Yeah. I am Mark, the BigBlackHatMan.
No, that's me. You're Mike.
And I'm gonna list off all my enemies right now. And I have the other dude right here.
The show's like half an hour. We just don't have time for all of your enemies.
I have way too many, and they're all a manic expression.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, if you have a guest, you should introduce the guest.
Oh yeah, here's Shibby, Chris, the Mac Daddy Supreme.
Let's talk about Lucky.
Stybok.
Those are quite a few names there. I remember being called Mac Daddy Supreme. That's
yeah, well, guess what? You told us before the show that you were a prostitute, so I was like, you must have been called Mac Daddy Supreme somehow at some point in time.
Well, I mean, it's times are tough, around the Detroit area, and it doesn't matter.
Ew! Don't be a prostitute in Detroit. Ew! Ah!
No. You see, I said the Detroit area. There's so many suburbs around Detroit, so you don't have to be downtown. You can work some of the suburbs.
Ew! Detroit suburbs. Ah!
Dearborn. No.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't do Dearborn. I'll go high class. I'll go Birmingham.
Ooh.
Nah.
All right. We're talking about a topic today. We are talking about movies and practical versus special effects, or CGI effects, I guess, more appropriately.
Yeah.
If you get the damn topic right, we could probably start the show.
Yeah.
There we go.
Practicality, and then deception.
All right, so I guess we'll start out. Everybody just kind of an opening statement about how you feel about the two things versus each other. So I don't know. We'll let the guest go first. How about that?
Yep. Guest, you first.
I'm definitely much more in favor of practical special effects as opposed to CGI, but as with most things, I think they both work best, or at least CGI works best, when it's properly mixed with practical special effects. But I'm much more old school and like the practical special effects a lot better, because when it comes to like being on set and actually trying to pull that stuff off, that's much more impressive than a CGI effect, because it's like, okay, now I'm not saying there's not a lot involved with putting a CGI effect together, but in all essence, you're just sitting down in front of a computer.
Wow, that is very demeaning. That is like really demeaning. It's like okay, so imagine Shibby walking into a studio of hard-working people, and the computer's like, "You people are lazy shitbags. Go home.
You
suck at everything. Why don't you go out and make a treehouse? Something practical. God damn it."
No, because I also just described myself. Most of my experience in the video industry was editing.
That's great.
I'm the world's biggest shitbag and freaking CGI crap is me. I'm on the goddamn computer all the goddamn time, editing.
Hey.
I forgot how to walk. All I know how to do is sit.
Yeah.
What are these legs?
So,
I can CGI my chair rocker propelling me to everywhere I want to go.
It's so magical.
Yeah.
Nothing like the magic. All right, so other dude, I guess we ask you how you feel about the two sides.
I don't really care as long as you don't fuck it up, because because like literally I've seen practical and 3D effects get fucked up. But I noticed with practical effects, people seem to be more lenient on it. And I'm just like, shit, man. If you fuck up, and like, you're a fuck up. Because I know some people are like, they respect people that try practical effects and fail. I'm just like, no, I don't. If you do it, you're giving them bad advice. You poop on their dreams. And then they get better if they don't die.
What are some of your stories end with people dying? That's
I don't know.
My curiosity here.
Morbid fascination.
It's just like, J.K. Simmons, like, he should be his character from Whiplash, throw chairs at people who screw up, and be like, "You're not worth a damn. I'll fuck you like a pig." Which is actually a line from the movie.
Okay. I haven't seen the movie yet. That's another movie I need to see. Anyway, so I'll share my thoughts real quick, and I'm kind of with Chris. I just think, it doesn't really, like, I kind of like the practical ones better, but the CGI, definitely there's a time and place for them. Because there's certain movies we certainly couldn't have pulled off without them.
Like Gravity.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to do that with practical effects.
That would be very difficult.
Or even though I'm not a huge fan of the movie Avatar, that would be another really good example. Usually, I'd say like movies where you're trying to like actually create completely different worlds, like in the best possible way. Even some aspects of the Lord of the Rings movies too.
Okay. You brought up Avatar. I got a little quarrel with that film, and it's not because of the film itself. It's because of the people. Now, I watched the movie, like, I don't know, twice. One time in theaters, one time on the plane. And you know how I left that film? Okay. I was just like, it's a film. It looks nice. I wasn't offended, so I'll just leave. I go there and have people like, this is the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm just like, why?
I wouldn't say it was the worst by any means at all, because it's like visually.
I hate that movie or like dislike it as much. I mean, it was just freaking K. It's as freaking K as you can possibly get. I
think the problem with that is always the hype. If you ever got a movie just hyped up beyond belief, especially something like that where it was like, this is going to be the next groundbreaking thing. They used all these new technologies. It's going to blow your socks off. And then you go in and it's just okay. Then people just, instead of it...
Okay, these groundbreaking effects. They're not going to say, we got groundbreaking effects at a sword we took from Dances with Wolves.
Or Pocahontas. Yeah, that too.
Fuck Pocahontas. That movie's a shit pile.
I think it's the love. Like, there's some people who love that movie so much, like, almost obnoxiously so, and some people react the other way.
I've never seen that.
I just thought it was boring. Like, I just thought the movie was boring. Like,
I didn't think it was boring. Like, I saw it on a plane, and it soaked up so much time, I was just like, oh, nice. Like, I landed when the movie was finished. But that's besides the point. The point is that, stop freaking hating Avatar. It's just okay. It's like how people love very mediocre films like Daredevil.
That's a good point. I think at this point...
Well, I like how everyone just pauses. Like, no one else saw Daredevil?
Well, no, I saw Daredevil, and I actually enjoyed that one. And like,
how?
there was a lot of the...
that movie's awful. It's everything wrong with everything.
See,
I think you're thinking Batman and Robin. That's everything wrong with everything.
Okay, it's everything wrong with everything.
Daredevil could not be looked at as anywhere near Batman and Robin level. Again,
all right, it's everything wrong with it.
But
it's everything wrong with everything in the 2000s. There we go.
But Daredevil to me still had good aspects. Like, not everything was terrible about Daredevil. You still got Michael Clark Duncan just...
Well, yeah, Michael Clark Duncan is like the one good thing. But then you have, like, Ben Affleck, he doesn't know how to play a blind guy, so it's just like, I'm gonna look like I'm, like, stoned off my nutsacks without, like, blinking.
I think that's, like, production.
He's like,
it's not really Ben Affleck's fault.
He's like, hey, Ben Affleck, I won't close my mouth properly. I'm gonna go into a fight scene in a park that's gonna look retarded, and then a girl's gonna tell me she's electric nachos, and then she's gonna try to kill me, and then she's gonna die. Then she's going to be in a horrible spin-off film.
By the way, if you want to talk about superhero films that are everything that's wrong with everything, let's talk about Steel, but let's not do that.
Oh, wait. I'm going to turn all this back into practical CGI effects.
Okay,
watch
it.
Watch it.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Steel's an example of horrendous practical effects. I mean, if you ever seen the comics, Steel's a bad-looking motherfucker. Mm-hmm. He has a steel body armor and everything. He does not look like a plastic RoboCop, which is what... Shaquille O'Neal does plastic. His costume looks like plastic, and it looked awful.
That was one of those movies where they had like an explosion in the background. I just remember this very distinctly. It was so clearly like an in the ground, a set off explosion, like very, very obviously.
And that's not only it. There's also horrible, like when freaking Bender from Breakfast Club. Shoots the Shaq's Dick Bukkake gun, and it shoots, it vibrates, ricochets back, hits the building and like all those rubble's falling and it's all like styrofoam and it's obviously styrofoam because it like literally bounces off the ground like it was weightless.
Yeah, if you're using styrofoam rubble, don't let it hit the ground. Let everybody realize how styrofoam it is.
And then for CGI effects, Daredevil, oh man. Other than the blind vision, like when he's like jumping around and stuff, holy crap, it looks bad. And
they had the same problem when they did that Halle Berry Catwoman movie. You know, it was the same deal.
Yeah.
That had to be some of the worst CGI cats I've ever seen.
Well, that's two examples. Like, why the hell even use CGI? Just, maybe do like a quick action sequence of it.
Because it's not dark and edgy enough. You need the CGI to make everyone look like plastic in a PlayStation 1 cutscene.
If you want to put him on a harness and just swing him across there and then, cut the strings out, CGI, okay, I get that. Like, that's fine.
Oh, but even the scene where you had, like in the Halle Berry Catwoman movie where, she was dead or whatever, and then you had her surrounded by CGI cats. They did the exact same scene in the second Tim Burton Batman movie, and they had all real cats, and it looked fine.
Except that movie's a god-awful piece of shit, but that's besides the point. We must talk about practical and CGI.
If you're just comparing the practical and CGI effects for two scenes that are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
They're based on the exact same thing. A shitty movie.
Anyway, I think like the best example of like practical and CGI effects like being together in a film is still Jurassic Park, and that film's like 20 years old now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, T-Rexes are scary. That should have been the tagline.
Like I was just watching that part of that movie the other day. I was like, man, how does the CGI in this movie still look like really good 20 years later?
I don't know. Yeah, it still looks good. I'd say it holds up like a stop motion effect. Mm-hmm. It's just like.
I think it was used in the right places. Like it was used just enough to just really be perfect for that movie.
Yeah.
Here's a good one for, in my opinion, like the best example of practical special effects is John Carpenter's The Thing. If you guys have ever seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's almost all practical, isn't it? There's like very little.
There's like almost no CGI in that whatsoever. It's just like all practical special effects.
Yeah, I thought of that movie when we brought this topic, and then of course I forgot before the show because that's how that works. Did you ever see like a good movie, like a movie that seemed like it was okay, but the effects were just kind of killing it?
Oh god, there's quite a few. Rambo's a good example. Have you ever seen that?
Like
Which one?
The very first one?
No, I'm talking about like, Rambo is in like, the fourth one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
More modern one?
Yeah, because there are scenes where like, they use practical effects where they like kill dude. But then there are scenes where like, a dude's like legs get blown up and it's just obviously CGI. Like, some people get like shot and it's obviously CGI. I'm just like, it's just weirdly how he divided up the budget when it came to like, shooting people. And then there's like the part where he outruns a nuke.
Really?
You could definitely tell when the budget ran out in that movie, sadly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know why, like, okay, so this is supposed to be like, Sylvester Stallone's like, okay, I'm going to actually make Rambo gritty and realistic this time. And then he has a scene where he puts C4 near like a nuke that's like planted in the ground that didn't go off. And it explodes and he outruns the blast.
Damn. That dude can really run. That's like 100 mile an hour. Jeez.
Yeah, hey, Knob's no joke. He had to learn how to, like, do crazy shit.
Well, hey, if only he had a fridge nearby, he could have pulled an Indiana Jones, but.
That's true.
Yeah.
He'd been just fine. Like being thrown apparently hundreds of feet through the air and landed hard in the middle of a fridge. You're just perfectly cool.
In a fridge that was known to, only open from the outside.
Yeah.
Speaking of shitty effects, that one was freaking awful. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That one, like, it's not like, I don't care about realism when it comes to Indiana Jones. I care about things looking like it has a shred of decency.
Oh, you
and
mean
like putting like one of
the opening scene?
Like, putting oh god, that mound was terrible. But
gotta fit the Paramount logo tie in somehow.
Yeah, but, like, I'm more, talking about, it's just like you put one of the, like, most popular cinematic heroes in a refrigerator and launch him in the freaking air. How the freaking hell do you think that looks aesthetically, like, pleasing or, good and not just dumb? Holy crap. I mean, I don't know what looked...
That movie's whole effects had a little bit of issues. I thought the ants looked kind of stupid, and of course the aliens at the end look really stupid, so...
Yeah, the flying saucer looks stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The premise looked stupid.
Yeah.
The practical effects looked good. Like, the fight they have in, like, the actual city was really good.
Yeah, that seems not bad.
Yeah, but then you got the, part where Shia LaBeouf is suspended between, two Jeeps, and of course you gotta have the ball gag in there where he's getting hit in the nads with all the CGI trees passing in between.
Wait, there was a ball gag in that film? Why wasn't I informed? Who had it on them?
Different type of ball gag.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure Shia LaBeouf had the ball gag in his mouth during the time when he's a freaky dicky motherfucker.
I think he's the one everyone wishes had the ball gag, so then we wouldn't have had to hear some of his lines.
Hey, he was good in Fury. Play a, like, sociopath, emotionally distraught preacher who gets, like, saw too much.
And holes.
Well, that's better than all the other characters he's played, which are usually the awkward, stuttering teenager who's got, like, a chip on his shoulder and he's got to prove something.
Wait, he was Jesse Eisenberg in films? Ha 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 ha. Hey, look, I got some bacon. Hold up.
Bacon.
So to go back to I think like CGI blood is like one of the worst. Like CGI blood, every time I'm like, man, just get like a bucket with some fake blood in it and splatter it on screen.
What? You didn't like the sequel to 300 where, the blood splatter effects made absolutely no sense?
Yes, I did not like the sequel to 300 for lots of reasons. That's just one of them. But
I saw the sequel to 300 and I thought it was really, really, really bad and unnecessary.
Yeah, that was pretty much the whole gist on that film. But like CGI blood to me most of the time looks like so obviously CGI, and you're just like, man, how hard would it have been to get behind that dude and squirt out a little blood,
Actually, I've seen CGI blood actually done well.
I was just thinking,
in like one movie.
The only time I've ever liked is maybe in like the Matt Vaughn films, because his films are so stylized to begin with. It doesn't really feel out of place. But that's the only time I've ever thought much of it.
Yeah, well, I saw this movie called Mother's Day. It was a remake. It was a freaking one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. Clearly you've not seen Zombievers.
No, I haven't. I did see a clip from Zombies vs. Vampires where an old man fought like a 20-something and won. And the old man obviously had a bad back, had a bad hip, and he still won. And the girl was a vampire too, so he was just like, what the hell, vampire? Oh God, a heart attack. But,
Just like
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. It was before Asylum, but that's just point. Point is, Mother's Day had like really good practical blood effects. I was like, they almost looked seamless. It was amazing. Granted, I was not paying attention to the film, so I could be completely wrong.
I didn't actually watch the film, but
yeah. I watched it, kind of.
Okay. How about the Asylum? I just joked about the Asylum, but does anybody feel like maybe their computers should be taken away from them just for the sake of everybody else?
No, man, that is like the only reason why you would even pick up their shit is like, see how badly they botch the effects.
Yeah, sometimes it's with movies like that, you want to see them just so you can talk with other people about how bad they were. It's something so bad you had to see for yourself.
I wouldn't go that far, but there's stuff like
Sharknado.
Well, I was actually gonna say I forgot what it was called. It was like one out of their 100 meteorite films that they've done, where it was like the Christian one because they have a Christian vision somehow. Like I don't know. I guess they have enough money to do that. to have like another, but that's besides the point. The point is like a bunch of like atheists are running away from meteors, and one of them just falls into one. Like, I don't know how he can miss it, but he trips over it and then falls right on top of it, and he just like, it's just like a quick edit to him being like just fire.
It's like an effect like somebody would do on their own like YouTube video.
Yeah, holy crap.
There's just no transition. 1 minute he's not on fire, the next minute he's on fire.
Yep.
Wow, I love that jump cut.
He's like 2 miles away from where he was clear before he's got a different fucking shirt on, the whole 9 yards.
And then in their like found footage alien film, you saw the alien for like a split second, and it literally looked like they took a freaking like monster from like RuneScape or something and like put it in the film. Holy crap. Like very early RuneScape.
So alright, so just so we know, I'm trying to think of something to keep going with this topic. I don't know, I'm like...
Horror movies tend to have some shitty effects, I'll say that.
Yeah, horror movies can, I mean, you know, I used the example of John Carpenter's The Thing is kind of like the pinnacle for practical special effects, but for every one of those, there's like, you know, 2,000 examples of just absolute shit in terms of practical special effects or CGI special effects.
Yeah, I haven't seen a horror movie that use CGI effects really well. Maybe, The Conjuring, but that was more like it's like barely used as more of like hell, it wasn't even CGI. They just used practical effects because they were smart.
Yeah.
But, you know, I haven't seen a horror movie yet to do like CGI well.
Well, it could be pretty low budget, in fairness, too.
I mean, like, if you've ever, all two of you who've ever watched Digress Session know that I think horror is the redheaded stepchild of movie genres. And, like, you know, I'm just like, you know, okay, you're not incompetent, you're incompetent with CGI, you're, like, most of the time incompetent with practical effects, why the fuck are you even here?
The thing is, you know, because I got my degree and everything in media production, when I was talking to people, horror is the genre that just about everyone starts out in. That's like where all the experiments are done, or that's where you got all the newbies going, because it's like, with horror crowds, as long as you're delivering the gore, it can be one of the worst movies ever. People will still go to see it. In fact,
yeah, like, I know, I've seen some of those films. I fucking hate horror fans because of it.
If you want the one, I don't even know if I can call it a horror film that I actually worked on. It was this movie called Jinn, Jinn. If you want to,
okay, I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess what this is about. It's about a bottle of gin that kills people.
No, that was just the bottle of gin. That was what everyone who was working on it was pounding behind the scenes, myself included.
Okay. It's about a genie, isn't it?
You know, there's a trailer on YouTube for this. It somehow actually got a theatrical release. It must have been a limited one, but
yeah.
This was one of those cases where you had people who somehow came into some money and decided to make a movie with it.
Oh God!
I watched that trailer when you were. I remember when you were working on this film. I remember you kind of telling me about it on Facebook, and I watched that trailer, and I still don't know what the hell the movie's about.
I'm not gonna watch the trailer.
I actually worked on the movie and even watched the movie in theaters just because I had to see what the final product ended up being. I'm not even entirely sure what it was about.
I'm not gonna watch the trailer because I still want to have a high opinion of you.
Like, we'll get the director on here. I don't know what it's about either. I was just there.
Yeah, the director's like, I don't know what it's about. I saw a bunch of pretentious shit. I thought I could probably do something like that. So I was like, you know, I'm just gonna throw random shit that comes out of my freaking crap hole.
I don't think they knew what they were trying to make, because at one point it seems like they're trying to make like some type of horror movie involving like demons or stuff like that, you know, coming, but then they've got this guy who's like a chosen one thing, and all of a sudden it turns into like,
what?
Yes. He's like the chosen demon killer. It's almost kind of going in the vein of like a Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing almost.
You are the chosen one.
So here's the question: How are the special effects in the film?
Oh, they're not good. They're
okay. For the looks of it,
they're okay.
From the sound of it, it sounds like, okay, you have to go. Most people go into horror when they, leave, like, film school or media or whatever. But the way you're describing it is just like, it's a freaking nightmare. Don't do it. Yeah, it's just like
in a way it can be. If you're not willing to put in the hours, I worked from 4 a.m. to 10 at night on a 30-second commercial shoot one time.
Jeez.
All right.
That just gives you an idea of like how long the days can be on a movie or commercial set.
Okay, real fast. I just want to say I don't hate horror fans. I just hate what you like. You're nice people. I don't want to love you, but for the love of God, please stop liking garbage.
Dude, do you love anybody? Come on.
No, not really.
Yeah,
probably my parents, but that's about it. But you kind of have to. So.
out of moral societal obligation to love my parents, everybody else can fuck themselves.
I'm not a very situational type of person. I'll either love you or hate you depending on the situation.
Oh, man.
Could you
I can't imagine myself being on a horror set and being happy.
Well,
I would just be miserable as hell. Just like,
it was only miserable when we had to do the night shoots. Because then you gotta really adjust your sleeping schedule and everything. But someone who's watched a ton of horror movies, the first night shoot we were on, I already knew I was in a bad position because we were filming at an abandoned nun convent that was next to a graveyard, that was next to a cornfield, and there was a
next to a van down by the river.
It was like every single possible thing from a horror movie where you just look around going, okay, if something starts happening for real, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I've seen too much.
I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks and just leave.
I was a contract worker. I didn't even have to do that. I'd just be like, no, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Keep your $5.
So Stephen King will emerge from a cornfield and go, you get suck, and just walk off.
You're going to be haunted by an evil ear of corn. Ooh.
Stephen King comes out, throws an ear of corn, and she goes, ah!
I'm going to scare the hell out of you.
Try and end that one.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive, scariest film I ever made.
I'm sorry, just seeing a guy with his face coming out of a cornfield would be enough to scare me. He doesn't have to say it.
Yeah, I'm just like, holy crap, it's a human rat.
he's like...
Oh yeah, practical and CGI.
Yeah,
okay, wait, here, I got one.
Okay.
Comparing the first 3 Lord of the Rings movies to the Hobbit movies, specifically the orcs. Because in the first 3 Lord of the Rings movies, they were not CGI'd. Those guys were guys in costume and makeup and all that.
Actually, they were girls in costumes. Most of the orcs were girls.
Oh, that too. But okay,
played by girls, but they dubbed them over with guys. But
live people then in costumes and makeup. Whereas in the Hobbit movies, they're all CGI, and there's so much of that is CGI. And I get with the sets. With some of the sets, you have to because you're not going to be able to find all of those different types of scenes or the scenery required for that in the real world, and it'd be extremely difficult to actually make a real set like that. So you got to go with CGI. But when you got stuff that you've already shown, hey, we can make these intimidating, fierce-looking characters and actually have them look real, but instead we're just going to CGI them.
The main villain in this series, the main orc villain, the guy with the one hand, I can't remember his name is, but
the pale orc.
Yeah. He looks totally not intimidating to me. He looks almost cuddly at times. Sometimes on screens.
Yeah. Well, that was a little weird. They gave him a cat. They gave him a cat face. I don't know why.
and they don't look interesting. They look bald, in his case especially, completely bald and bland. It's the other ones, just they'd have war paint and all this other stuff on, and it looked awesome. But then you got this guy, and it's just he doesn't even look like he's a finished rendering, really. No,
he just doesn't look good. I mean, he's just I don't know, he's shit. I don't know.
All right, so I don't know. Does anybody else want to bring up anything else for wrap the show up today?
Let's see. One other thing
Alright.
I could think about was if any of you guys saw the last Hunger Games movie that was made, then they had the one scene where they're trying to film Katniss basically in front of a green screen,
Yeah.
to do the whole propaganda video and everything. And you got the guy giving her cues like, okay, come on, no, you just got out of a battle, sound like and everything. And I think that's another example of where you got like all the sets and everything behind the actors are green screen. All the characters around them are just like guys in maybe green suits so they can CGI this stuff in later. And I think that also, it'll result in some, let's just say subpar acting in some movies.
If you don't actually have an environment to react to, so you're just kind of winging it.
Yeah. Well, I actually think for the last Hobbit movie, Ian McKellen had a scene like when they were filming it, he was basically he wasn't with anybody, and he had these just like stands that had the names of the dwarves and like a light and on each one, and the light would light up when he was supposed to be addressing like a particular one. And I think like afterwards he kind of broke down because like this isn't why I became an actor, because he's basically just sitting in a room by himself with stands with names on them, talking to them, and he's supposed to deliver a good, believable performance. That's difficult to do.
You forgot to mention the part where he's literally said, "Fuck you, Peter Jackson."
Well, that probably is hard, especially for someone like him whose background is theater acting, where you do everything on the spot with people.
Well, and I mean, if you look at like a lot of great performances, it's because they're able to play off of the people around them and the environments around them. So then you stick them in just like a sterile room where there's nothing going on, but they've got to, in their own mind, imagine everything that's going on. I mean, you're turning what's supposed to be a big budget movie into an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway?
That's good. But anyway, what was I going to say? Funny enough, that was also the same year we got Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Those effects were freaking like pretty seamless, especially the part where he, fights the giant like, I don't know what it's called. It was like a freaking the plane, giant like military plane, and he like jumped on it, did a bunch of moves, blah blah blah, and it looked really good.
Yeah.
When he jumped off his motorcycle, hopped on it, took his shield, destroyed the thing, jumped off.
Yeah.
That was good.
I think
All done by.
has handled it all pretty well, though. I mean, they've done.
They got freaking industrial lights and magic working for them, and they've done like literally every Marvel movie they've done, and every TV show.
Every time somebody wants to hate George Lucas, remember George Lucas is responsible for that shit too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's responsible for making Marvel effects look amazing.
Yeah, he's
even though like he'd be like he'd go on says like, all right, this isn't right. Everyone needs to be CGI, including not just the Hulk, but everybody.
now you're belaboring the point where I'm trying to defend George Lucas just a little bit. I'm not trying to defend him on the whole, just a little bit. And you're like, no, I'm going to be a dick about it. Thanks. Thank you very much.
It's hard to defend him, though.
I can't believe we forgot to mention this, but real fast, I said like George Lucas would come on set and say everyone should be CGI. That's not going to be George Lucas. That's going to be Robert Zemeckis. They'll be like, all right, all these actors are actually going to be CGI. They're going to voice their characters. We're going to do this super realistic looking, even though they all cross-eyed and plasticky.
So,
and are in situations where you could easily just have actual actors there.
Yeah, I have no idea what he was thinking when he was trying to do that. I mean, literally, like, okay, I think The Polar Express is a decent film.
Yeah, it's charming.
But even then, like, everyone looks like the emotions don't look right. Like, people don't look like people. They don't react normally. They look like marionettes who are controlled by a drunk man sometimes. And then Beowulf slightly improved stuff, even though the queen in that movie looks cross-eyed the entire time.
I don't think they're looking at her eyes in that movie, let's be honest.
Probably not. Jackie Gleason is like the only guy that looks like his character.
Who?
Jackie
Gleason's dead.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. What am I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm lost on this one.
I am high as a kite.
Looks like I think looked a little bit like in Beowulf. Anthony Hopkins looked a little bit like.
Hold up, one sec.
Yeah.
One sec. Let me. Screw this. Brendan Gleeson. There we go.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson. Okay.
Right.
That's why I screwed up. Yeah, it was like it's a Gleeson. It's not Jackie because he's dead. But yeah, Brendan Gleeson. There we go. He looked like himself.
Maybe that would have been more interesting if they'd had Jackie Gleason. It like brought him back from the dead. Like, oh my God, it's Jackie fucking Gleason.
Oh man, there's also, I just remember this there's the Sky Captain of the World of Tomorrow, which is like the worst example of CGI.
I didn't even make it through that movie. I watched like half an hour. I'm like, I've got better things to do with my life.
It was pretty bad. There's Attack of the Clones,
which
was
God.
embarrassing.
That I can't watch that at all anymore because and that's another one where, you just have all the sets are just, the actors walking around in a room that's just green screen or blue screen, head to toe. And
yeah, there was no green. It was all blue. It's just like George Lucas was probably all like, all right, welcome to the blue planet. Welcome to the other blue planet. And at the end, guess what? It's going to be another blue planet.
Well, and what gets me is like, that was one of those movies where you could easily, especially, having seen so many green screen effects now, I mean, I watched that and I can just so easily tell that the set is not really there at all.
Yeah.
The actors don't look a part of the set at all.
It's not like they didn't have the budget.
Yeah.
I mean, they were freaking Lucas Entertainment, which had unbelievable amounts of money to make anything they wanted.
Yeah. It's just George Lucas like, all right, everything's going to look fake. We got to CGI all the offensive stereotypes. We're going to CGI a Guido who's like a really overweight fat alien with a mustache. He's going to have a diner like from like a New York City from like 1940s cinema.
It's going to be a nod to the film noir genre.
Yeah. Why the hell does he have this voice? He sounds nothing like that.
I don't know. I was wondering that too.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, I'm a televangelist. I'm going to tell you the word of the Jedi. And reality is midichlorians, little bacterias.
So, I took a bio class between the end of Return of the Jedi and the beginning of Phantom Menace.
Oh, wow. He actually started to sound like the gay guy from Family Guy. Hello, y'all. I'm George Lucas. I'm gonna eat you. Yes. Oh, no. Oh, no. People hate my film. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. In all honesty, it doesn't make any sense. Well, the funny thing is I remember, owning the original Star Wars VHS tapes, and that's going way back. And, before each movie came on, there was always like this little promo for an extra VHS. It was like a behind the scenes thing of all of the 3 first Star Wars movies. And they had this quote that George Lucas said was just like, a special effect is just a tool, a means of telling a story. A special effect without a story is a pretty boring thing. And then years later, I see the new movies. I'm just like, he didn't listen to himself, did he?
He got old and lazy.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he was probably reading off a cue card by someone who was competent, because if you know anything about George Lucas, he needed people to tell him to do things right. Because, it's like, producers, how do I take a shit properly? I forgot. Ewoks, how about we have Ewoks everywhere? The producer's like, fine, George, you can have your Ewoks. That's all you're getting, though, you fucking child.
And then the, sales for merchandise went through the roof, and then George Lucas was the one laughing all the way to the bank.
He's like, We should probably end the show right now.
We should. I'm about to go into how stupid 20th Century Fox is, but at any rate. Give up that, didn't get the Indiana Jones franchise. Way to go, guys. Way to be stupid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I guess that's all for this week's show. Thanks to our guest, Chris. Thanks for being on today.
Not a problem. I'm glad you guys could have me on. This was definitely an interesting discussion, a rousing debate on some things.
All right.
Yeah, on I don't know, 1/4 of the show is actually the topic.
Oh, that's pretty typical though.
That's par for the course, I think, for most podcasts.
Hopefully we didn't scare you away like we do our usual guests. Usually I say something racist and profane or profane, whatever the plural that is, and then they just run away.
Given my background and everything, it's quite hard to offend me.
All right, so let's end the show. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.